So we've got the final vote on Brexit happening today. You know, the British talking about getting out of the European Union, saying, look, this was a great try, but it's not working for us, time for us to leave. And it's interesting because most people recognize that when a nation decides to become a part of a group with other nations, that they should have the right to withdraw from that group of nations. However, there are some who are saying, no, Britain shouldn't be allowed to leave the European Union. Meanwhile, this is also encouraging in France. Marine Le Pen, she's running for president there, they call her far right wing. I'm not sure exactly where the whole political spectrum is anymore. Honestly, the labels don't seem to do much good. If you're trying to make a decision based on a label, you may as well just call somebody brand A and brand B, because they don't really mean anything anymore. The point is, though, Marine Le Pen has promised to hold a referendum in France about having a Frexit to get out of the European Union if she is elected president. Here in the United States, California is talking about seceding from the Union, something which Texas promised to do under Obama but never did. The question in all of this is, if people recognize that there are certain groups of people that can dissolve the bonds that hold them to another group, kind of like, do you remember how the Declaration of Independence goes? When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the bonds. Do you remember that? The whole point of the United States, or what became the United States, the colonies, leaving Great Britain in the first place, was that the bonds that held them together were no longer valid. That the people who were setting themselves up in rule over this other group of people were abusing that situation. And our entire country's government, our entire structure is based on the fact that our founding fathers recognized that they had a basic innate right to not be ruled by another man. And so they broke the bonds. In so doing, it's set, we'll talk about this at some point, I hope, maybe with somebody who knows a lot more about some of the intricacies of the history. But it's setting forth this notion of revolution that swept the globe. And now the idea of the divine right of kings is virtually laughable. Back then, you think about it. How dare you? How dare you rebel against the king that God has given you? This is the God-appointed government, and you are rebelling against the king. I mean, you think about it. That's what the Tories were saying, basically, to the people who were rising up, these rebels who are saying, you don't have a right to continue to rule us like this. Well, now this aspect of the Frexit, the Brexit, the breakup of the European Union, and, of course, the possibility of California leaving the American Union, where does it stop? Can the city of Fairbanks decide that it doesn't want to be a part of Alaska anymore? Can I personally decide that I don't want to be governed by the city of Fairbanks anymore? How far are we willing to take this doctrine, if you want to call it, of personal freedom, of not being ruled by another person? Look, for anybody else, I will promise you this. I will never try to rule over you. I will not run for any office, nor will I accept any office if someone came and gave it to me on a plate. I am not your ruler. No one knows better how to run your life than you do. And I hope that the Brits and the French and the Californians figure that out as well. That's what I've got today. If you want to contribute to what I'm doing, please become a partner either through Patreon or by buying a direct subscription at radiofreespeech.com. And if you've got a news tip for me or something you'd like to hear me do a comment on, send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.